Hello, dear friend. Welcome to Astrological Association's Astro Chat. Well, this week, what are we going to talk about? Well, today is Taurus Full Moon. Well, it's a very, very interesting full moon because not only we have Taurus Full Moon, but it is also a super moon. Well, this is happening when the moon is pretty close to the Earth. This year we have a 3 super full moon, one in October, one in November, one in December. But the November one, this one is the biggest one. So, well, it may have some, astrological impact from the Mandani astrology or financial astrology view that when the moon is close to the Earth, usually it will make us feel a little bit more excitement, more emotional. I have the Cancer rising, so usually the lunation will really usually have a kind of an impact on me. So it is very interesting. But what does this Taurus full moon mean for us? Interestingly, I think Taurus is Earth sign, so it related to the material world, related to our body, financial situation, with the food. And so what we are going to focus on this area with material side, with money, financial side, with our body, as it is full moon. Because the sun moon opposition, we can see a beautiful round full moon. So the meaning of full moon, it also has a meaning about we can see what's happening. So it's about the accumulation of the past result, especially the sign Taurus also meaning accumulation. So this means what we are going to see is the result of our past action. So for example, are we really careful to manage our financial situation? Or have we looked after our body? Do you do exercise, eat well, or you don't really care about your body? You don't really care about your financial situation? Maybe during this full moon, we are going to aware the result or consequence of this, how we ignore our health, how we ignore our body, or how we ignore our financial situation. Interestingly, this sun moon opposition for us is more likely we are aware through our communication with other people, or through our cooperation, maybe even through the relationship, because the full moon, the opposition, that usually has a meaning about related to our interaction with other people. So this means we may be discuss about the financial situation, to discuss about the resource we are owning or we are sharing with other people. In the relationship, we may be going to talk about it or focus about the body, about material security, and also the financial situation. So all this can maybe, raise our awareness during these next 28 days. But more importantly, we have to focus on where is this full moon in our chart? For example, if it's in your first and the seventh house, this axis, then that means between you and me, you and another person, the interaction, relationship, and how you see the reflection, your own reflection from other people. And how you think about other people, maybe there is something you should be aware about yourself. But for example, if this full moon fall on your second house and the 8th house, then this may be suggest related to financial matter, the resource you own and the resource you share with other people. If this full moon axis is in the 3rd house and 9th house, then maybe it's about learning, study, communication, and our meaning of life. Okay, if in the 4th house and 10th house, that would related to family and career decision. If it is in the 5th house and the 11th house, related to friendship and the goal of our life and how we express our creativity, how we make things happen. If this full moon falling into the 6th house and the 12th house, then that may be meaning we should more focus on our daily routine, how we eat, how we look after our health. And also in the 12th house is about our past. And also this is somehow it related to a boundary need to be clarified. So whose responsibility and does this related to you? Usually we have to focus on this when the axis falling into the 6th and the 12th house. So this is the Taurus full moon, and it would be for some people who could feel very excited, and maybe there's a lot of things to do related to, financial situation toward the end of the year. And also I know for next couple of days will be coming up the the shopping season for the Christmas. So pay a little bit of attention about our financial situation during this super full moon. Will be very interesting from the Mandani astrology level. It is very interesting because this super full moon and together with the Mars right opposite Uranus, it may cause some, volatile of the financial market, but I think I don't need to really say that because we already see for last couple of days in the financial market how it's performing. It could be very interesting, but let me share the chart with you, okay? So here we are. Okay, let me adjust it. Yeah, here we are. So we have a whole chart. We have a whole chart of this Taurus full moon, and the location I use is in London. So we have this axis in the right on the cusp of a 3rd house and the 9th house. So especially Mercury for London, Mercury is right on the MC. So altogether, 3rd house, 9th house with Mercury in Sagittarius. So would be like UK's relationship with our country, or how we communicate our relationship with our neighborhood country. It could be, related to traveling or traffic system, railway system, and, more about the commute. So this is the things we should pay attention during this Taurus full moon for UK. Fortunately, interesting that this Mercury is worth us to pay a little bit more attention because the Mercury in Sagittarius conjunct the MC. So the government may have something to say, but more about the, ideology, more about their vision rather than some actual action. This Mercury rule the 4th house and 5th house, so we maybe pay attention on the house. Well, I know if you focus on the UK's politics, we know recently about the MP or MP, the house renting things, or, and another thing, Mercury ruler the 5th house, maybe we should pay a little more attention about child policy or entertainment. Maybe these are the things that worth us to pay attention. But what is striking me more and more interesting is if we relocate this full moon to the New York. Well, we know what happened. Look at New York, because I don't usually talk about a situation in the United States, but this chart worth us to see. This is the chart of today's full moon in the US East Coast in New York, and we have the ascendant 3 degrees Sagittarius, and the Mars is right on the ascendant opposite Uranus on the descendant. Mercury also joined them. Mercury is right on the ascendant. Very, very interesting full moon. As we know, the yesterday's result of the New York City mayor election, a new political newcomer, Mandani, won the election. This is very interesting. We have a rather younger, I think as I know, he's the youngest New York mayor for last 100 years, if this is correct. And his performing is a very, very approach to the young people and very active, and he is very outspoken. This Mars can be really, showing the whole situation, and it's about the change. This, I don't think it's related to the New York change the people, but it's about the whole U.S., how they respond Trump's regime. Well, I don't know. It's good or bad. You judge it. But for me, it's like we want something different. And I think Mandani, he does give people this type of energy. He is very different. For example, for understand him a little bit more, I went back to check how he campaigned. It's very interesting. He say, in one video, he say, I'm going to say something the other politician never said that. Stop sending me money. Stop sending me money. So how he found his campaign? Rely on the donation of other people, the donation of common people, rather than receive a huge money from the donor, from the big commercial, big corporation. This is very interesting. I don't know if you are interested to look his chart, because we have his birth time and we have his chart. So worth us to pay a tiny bit attention. Zora Mandani was born in Uganda on the 18th of October 1991. So young, it makes me feel like I'm an old man now. I think this is very interesting. In his chart, he has 0 degree Leo ascendant. Wow, it's totally new. It's a really rather new energy, okay? It's a new energy. A Leo rising. We know Trump has 29 degree Leo, and this one has 0 degree Leo. So it's very interesting. First things, we can notice the 2 things. One, when I see that Mars conjunct Mercury, I was, am I draw the wrong chart because I was worried about I drew the current transit chart. No, he also has Mars conjunct Mercury in his natal chart, very close to his IC. This is very interesting. It's outspoken. It's well observation with insight, and try to go underneath, under people's skin, or try to, dig out more important information and through the, dialogue. Another thing we can see it is the Saturn conjunct descendants. It's Saturn at 0 degree Aquarius. Wow. If you are familiar with Mandani astrology, in 2020, we have Jupiter and Saturn conjunct near this degree. Okay? One thing worth to pay attention, this is what I learned from dear teacher Christine Skinner. Pay attention to your chart. Do you have any planet at 0 degree Aquarius has been conjunct by this Jupiter-Saturn great conjunction? That usually means something to you. For him, this is the Saturn. Saturn ruler his 6th house, his daily routine, his health, maybe how he treats other people, especially when he's with his co-worker. But the 7th house is about, working with other people. And also, this is a very interesting, angular Saturn is also making him take a little bit more distance, rational, seriously. Okay, so in his chart, the angular Mars, angular Mercury, and the angular Saturn is quite prominent and very, very interesting. What do you think? Okay, please share with me. We can have a little bit dialogue, but it's very interesting to look this chart. And another thing, we can see this person, is born in the Uranus-Neptune conjunction, this generation. So younger generation who is want to change the world, want to totally, make a different world. The Uranus conjunct Neptune in the Capricorn. They have a dream about what world should be. This is very interesting. And on the other side, have you noticed this in the 2nd house, this Venus at 8 degree Virgo conjunct Jupiter at 8 degree Virgo. I know that traditionally both planets are not happy in Virgos. I think especially for Venus in Virgo is a 4, and that is not really, not really comfortable, and the Jupiter is detriment here. So, well, this is what he pay attention, but hey, this maybe represent how he react to those big money, those comfortable, those things make other people comfortable. So maybe this is the way how he expresses his chart. But more interestingly, let's go to fixed stars. I like fixed stars. So if you check his fixed star, it is so interesting. Look his sun. His sun is at 24-degree Libra, right next to Spica, aligned with the Spica, and also aligned with another fixed star called Arcturus. Okay, Spica is the weeds holding by the goddess in the sky in the Virgo constellation. This is a very, very auspicious fixed star that people really enjoy the life, and Benedict Brady mentioned this is a talented sign. So any planet related, aligned with the Spica, somehow related to talent. And another thing is Arcturus. When Arcturus is in the Booth constellation, this constellation in the ancient time is represent the hunter chasing animal with dog. And then when they come to the agriculture, it become a farmer holding the plow, because this constellation is very, very close to the, plow. So it's the farmer holding the plow. So it's a transition. It's a transition leader. It is very interesting if people has any planet nearly 24 or 23 degree of Libra are usually taking the role of a transition. It's very interesting. Wants us to pay attention about this sun aligned with the Spica and Arcturus. Another thing it does not mark here is about his moon. If this birth time is totally correct and his moon is at 17 degree Aquarius, well, here lie another fixed star people don't usually talk about. It is the Sualucin from the constellation Dolphinus. Okay, interesting, because Dolphin is a friendly animal. Dolphin play in the sea and they socializing. This suggests that his moon, his personal life would be very, approachable and very socializing, and he loved to help other people. Some people talking about Mandani say, well, he is a rap singer. Well, not 100%. Yes, he did have some work, pop music work, but this is not his profession. His profession is always focused on the politics. Okay, so I think especially he participate a lot of social movement. So we can see he care about this society and he care about other people. Then people choose him to give him this role about the New York City mayor. They say it's the second top job of the whole United States. I don't know. I never been there, so it could be. Very interesting about this chart. Let me move the fixed star away, but pay attention on fixed star is quite interesting, isn't it? Okay, another thing we can see is about the solar return chart. You want to see solar return chart? Let's go to the solar return chart here. Here we have Mandani's solar return chart of this year. We have he just has his birthday last year. And look what we have. Okay, this is based in New York. So we relocate this solar return chart in New York. And we can see, well, Jupiter. Interestingly, Jupiter is not far from the ascendant. This is a good sign, isn't it? This is a good sign to give him the power. But very interestingly, Pluto is on the descendant. Well, this, I don't know, it's a good or bad, but it's a transformation. He will have totally different life. And then this also, I think, together with this small trine, Pluto trine Uranus and the sextile Neptune and Saturn, this going to act perfectly for his political career. But if we put together with his birth chart, then you will find out, yes, hey, we have not only Pluto under descendant, we also have the Pluto conjunct his Saturn. Okay, Pluto conjunct his Saturn. So this could be a very crucial moment, crucial period for him, as his ascendant is 0 degree Leo. So we know Jupiter is approaching. Jupiter is also approaching to his ascendant now. So this is a pretty interesting. Okay, so this is according the solar return chart, and we have a Mars conjunct his Pluto. That Pluto is pretty active, isn't it? We have the Mars is conjunct his natal Pluto, and this is the IC ruler. It is very interesting. Another things I'd like to point out is, well, if I use his birth chart to make a solar return, on his birthplace, so solar return and to natal place. Let's see what we will have. Yes, this is what I want to tell you. Personally, even I know I work with a relocation chart pretty often, but most of the time I use the natal chart and the solar return chart without relocate. Well, I will still consider relocate chart. It does work, but without the relocate chart, I usually curious about what does that, how does that act. And for me, usually I can find some important information when I draw the solar return chart according the birthplace. Okay, not everyone doing this, so it is very interesting. Even for his birthplace in Uganda, Kampala, we have Jupiter conjunct MC. How fascinating it is. How fascinating it is. Only 3 degrees away, Jupiter conjunct MC. And then this time we have the Pluto around the IC, but not in the same side. But this Jupiter conjunct MC in the same side is pretty interesting. This is the solar return chart from his birthplace rather than from New York. So, what do you think? Do you somehow use the, relocate chart, or do you work with the natal chart with when you draw the solar return? Do you use relocate current place, or do you use natal place? This is a question need I think worth us to pay attention and a little bit. I don't want to say debate. Everyone choose what they like, okay? But it is quite interesting. Some people use the relocate, and some people use the birthplace. But in Mandani's case, both chart has Jupiter on the angle, and that is pretty interesting. So we have these, Mandani just elect to become the New York mayor. Oh, I'm curious about this full moon has anything to do with him. So let me go back. Oh, sorry. Let me go back to this chart. So, here we are. In the wheel is Mandani's birth chart, and out the wheel is the full moon in New York. It's basically like transit, and also, is the, because the election just happened yesterday. And we can see, well, Venus yesterday would be 1 degree away. So Venus is pretty close to his sun. This is very interesting. And the transiting, we have the transiting Pluto very close. Is really right on his Saturn. Okay, so that is quite interesting, isn't it? We have this kind of a chart about full moon, and in New York, never forget, in New York, let me show you again. In New York, we have this Mercury Mars conjunction opposite Uranus right on the horizon, and they have their really very different dynamic, They choose a new mayor, and it's a very different type of politician. So, well, what do you think? What do you think about this Taurus super moon are going to have an impact in our life? So pay attention, okay, on the where sun and moon falling into your house, and also pay a little bit attention about your material life and about financial life, about your body, about your health, and maybe a little bit about material, the security, financial security, all this area, okay? Okay, this is what I'm going to share with you about today's Astro Chat from Astrological Association. Well, I will be here for the next 2 weeks, and we also will prepare for a new moon update. So see you next week. Bye-bye.